I think one of the scariest things, that's probably even a worse fate than death, is forgetting about things and not even knowing that you're forgetting. Kutori is going through that exact thing. She is forgetting stuff that she is completely unaware of. And it's very sad, because, I mean, imagine it like this. You're someone that's had some passionate moments with your loved one, and then the next day you wake up, you don't even remember that passionate moment. You don't even remember whatever has happened in the past that you truly cherish. Like this very important key moment in your life that really changed you and made you happy, you forgot about it. But what's really sad about this is that you don't know that you forgot about it until someone reminds you. And even then, once they remind you, you don't remember the events, but you know you forgot them. That is a very scary thought, and Kutori is going through a lot in this, and judging by the way this series has constantly been setting up that endgame of Season 1, for instance, whatever's about to happen to Kutori, that's going to be very tragic, very sad. She may not die, but she definitely is going to change. In the grand scheme of things, she's not going to be the exact same person that she was when the series first began. Because with her losing her mind, her hair color changing, her no longer being Leprechaun, there's already irreversible changes that's already happened to her. But the question is, how far will these changes go? And that is what I'm thinking about when I watch this episode. Because we all know, we're all very aware at this moment that this series can go very slice of life-ish, but it has that line where you could feel the tragedy. For instance, you know something very bad is happening. It's creeping up on you. You can feel it just crawling up your spine, and that's basically how this series is. It's all calm before the storm until everything hits the fan and everything just goes to absolute shit. And there is a potential possibility that it's going to be very bad once the series ends. So we're going to be like, what the hell? Like, really? This just happened? I feel like something very bad will happen. I mean, this series was recommended to me quite a bit in the past, so I'm going to assume something really crazy will eventually happen to Kutori. But let's talk about the fact that she is actually changing, and at the same time, you see how she is trying to deal with this change. For instance, at the start of the episode, you see it to where she's kind of forgotten short-term memory, or basically just where pepper is or whatever, like seasoning. And honestly, I do that from time to time. Sometimes I'll have a book or whatever in my hand, I'll sit it down to the side, and I continue walking off to get my coffee or something, and I completely forgot I sat my book down. Maybe that is a short-term memory problem, whatever. But I mean, that happens from time to time. I think to all individuals. You forget you've done a certain thing. Maybe you sat something down because you just weren't really paying attention much to it, and then you continue moving on, and then you forgot where you placed that thing. You're like, wait, where'd it go? And then eventually you find it. Basically, Kutori was going through short-term memory. But then what really happened, what was really problematic, was when she revealed she forgot the first time she went out with William in the beginning of the series. Now, this is why this is very serious. It's not just the fact that she forgot something that was very simple, which that can happen to anyone. It's the fact she forgot a very important moment. A moment that signifies her first meeting with William, her first time really getting to know him, and also really falling in love and enjoying being around him. Her forgetting that is something very major, because that means if she could forget something that important to her, she could forget other things. So that is not good at all. And the way this is building up, all I see is sadness in her immediate future. So, looking past that, though, let's talk about the situation going on with the romance. So, this episode, besides the, once again, the tragedy looming in the background, there was a lot of romance in this episode, and good slice-of-life moments between the characters, and look, okay, I'm not actually watching this series because of the romance. I love romance. I've said that many times over in so many other videos. I don't think I need to clarify. But basically, I love my romance. But I didn't start the series because of romance. However, I am really enjoying it. I'm loving how cute, our couple is, Kutori and William, how they just interact with each other, how she confesses her feelings and how she likes him, and how basically he likes her and how he views her like an actual woman instead of like a child. Because that's basically what happened when he was talking to, our other main female character, basically saying, oh, she's probably very happy because you compared her to me, and so that means you view her like a girl, for instance, a woman instead of a child. And so I love how this series is being very open about the relationships, instead of trying to just throw it to the side, make it like it didn't happen, or just throw in these cliches that just really piss you off while you're watching the series. This series isn't trying to do that. Suka Suka isn't trying to do that. It's trying to actually give us development and build-up, but which is very scary. As I've already said in this video, is that basically we know something bad will happen, and for the series, the writing to be this straightforward with her character, with her confessing her feelings, and William confessing his feelings, basically, I'm feeling like she's probably going to forget about her love. Like, if things continue and she continues to lose her mind, I feel like she's going to forget completely about William, and she's going to completely forget about her love and all that, which is going to be very sad, and he's going to be very upset about that, because, he wants her to remember, because he does love her, too. But that is very sweet, but it's also very sad, too, with the way that's building, because that is a potential future for that. But at this moment, though, besides all the dark stuff looming in the background, I have to say, very sweet stuff in this episode with the characters. Now, speaking of other romance scenes, let's talk about our troll, okay? I can't pronounce her name for the life of me, so please forgive me. Like, I don't even know how to begin to pronounce the name, so it's so weird in the subtitles. I'm not even going to try. I'm not even going to butcher the name, so forgive me. Basically, though, she also confesses her love towards our main character, William, which was a very shocking moment. Well, I mean, we've been very aware that she has had feelings for him. We knew this, but she actually openly admitted her feelings towards him. But what was really messed up, but at the same time, I commend William as a character for at the very least giving us an answer, was that he turned her down. Like, okay, hear me out, okay? I actually much would prefer her to be with William. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like Kutori and all that, and I know it's going to lead to some interesting stuff in the future, but I really like the other girl. I really like her. I like her character and all that, and seeing how he handled that and the way he turned her down, I do respect that. I respect a character that actually turns someone down. Like, if they ask, like, hey, I love you or whatever, and they're just being point blank with it, but then they, the character doesn't give an answer, that shit pisses me off. If you want to piss me off with any character in a series, you have a dense character that's basically confessed to, like, point blank, and just, there's no other way to take the combo, but then he just shrugs it off and doesn't give an answer, he doesn't realize what's going on there. I'm just glad William, as a character, is not as dense as normal MCs, but also, he gives an answer right then and there. He doesn't just beat around the bush and just play with you and just basically say, oh, I'm never going to give you an answer probably until the end of the series. So I'm glad he gave an answer, and at the very least he turned it down. Yes, it was messed up, it was savage, but he still gave her an answer, which is what she at the very least deserved. She needed an answer for she can allow, William and Kutori to be together, for she can kind of move on with her feelings. Now, besides all of this, there is a wild card thrown into this episode, which is the dug weapon that William discovered. For instance, his hometown is being brought up once again. Apparently, relics and stuff are being grabbed from his town on the ground, and we're probably going to get to see his hometown very soon, most likely in the upcoming episodes. William has discovered a new dug weapon, which has been around, but he actually read up on it and figured out that this dug weapon can make it to where the person that uses it retains their body status, or they stay fit or in shape. Basically, if you have a problem with your body, that maybe your body is degrading, like your mind is disintegrating, which is what is happening to Kutori, if she has this weapon, she won't have that problem anymore. She will be fine. She will be able to continue on living the life she is, and she won't have to worry about eventually just losing her entire mind. But also, I was curious when this was mentioned if this also could be applied to William as well. Think about it, okay? The man, as we know, his body is breaking down. His body is in shit condition. It's not that good at all. And so I wonder if he was to wield that weapon, would he be okay? Like, would he be able to fight somewhat if he was to wield that weapon, since apparently this dug weapon can keep your body fit. I wonder if it doesn't just apply to Kutori and keeping her mind sane, but also applies to him as well. So maybe we might see a potential fight with him in the future, him going in and just battling people, because I would really like to see that, because he looks really strong. I would like to see exactly his skills in combat. So yeah, that's, I think that's about it for this episode. No, there's one more thing. The same little girl, I think it is the same little girl. The same little girl that fell off the cliff a while back, a couple episodes ago, around like episode 4 or 5. Basically, that same girl also almost gets hurt in this episode, but Kutori saves her. So, yeah. that girl is, what the hell? Like, she keeps trying to hurt herself or something. She keeps falling off of things, and like, oh my god, someone needs to really keep watching this, child, because she keeps running around. She's probably going to get herself killed as she continues. I mean, we do know that they don't really care about their own lives. We've seen this firsthand. This was mentioned. This is a big plot point of the series, but damn, just like this child keeps doing crazy stuff to where she's about to die or something. Like, oh my god, someone needs to really keep watching these children where they don't do crazy stuff like this. But yeah, that's about it when it comes to this episode of, Suka Suka. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I love you all so much. Please be safe. Chibi out.